ओके, अगर हम देखें इसको तो यू कैन से एनर्जी ऑफ एनी, यू कैन से हीलियम He plus, it will be, you can say, minus 2.18 into 10 to power minus 18 joules Z square by 1 by 4 square minus 1 by 2 square, right? So that's what it is, and the same energy will be associated with hydrogen. So that is going to be minus 2.18 into 10 to power minus 18. Okay, and there is okay, this is Z square, and for hydrogen it is nothing, so 1 upon n1 square minus 1 upon n2 square, right? It is going to be this. So you see that this term is gone, so this term is, you can say, Z is equal to 2 for helium, right? It will be like this. So 4, and this is what, 1 by 16 minus 1 by 4, that is equal to 1 by n1 minus 1 by n2, the solution of this, 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. Okay, so this is going to be 4 into, now this is minus 3 by 16, or you can say the positive value, so it is 3 by 16. Okay, so because here also the negative sign will come, so that will eventually cancel it off, because n2 will be of, you can say, of higher value. So this is going to be, you can say, 1 by n1 minus 1 upon n2, okay, multiplied with 1 by n1 plus 1 by n2. Okay, so this is 3 by 4. So this I can say this is 1 minus 1 by 2 multiplied with 1 plus 1 by 2, right? So it can be said like this. So these are the solution set which are quite visible from here. 1 by n1 minus 1 upon n2. Okay, they are in same format, right? 1 by n1 plus 100 by n2, right? So in that case we will see that the transition is going to be n1 is equal to 1 and 2 is equal to 2, right? Is that okay? So it is like this, like, but it could be like, if the energy is if it is some other values, then you have to guess those values, right? Okay, so it is basically the hit and trial case, which we have to see, because this difference might be like, if it is given helium over, let's call it as sodium, right? If the case would have been for sodium, then what it would have been, the Z would have been 11 for here, right? It would have become 11 square, 121. So in 121, then I don't think that any such solution would have been possible. 121 into 3 by 16 it would have been. Okay, so in that, so we have to see that. Okay, so in that case we have to guess it. Okay, so this is the answer like this. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Now let's see the question number 2.35. If the diameter of a carbon atom is 0.15 nanometer, okay, if the diameter of the carbon atom is this much, calculate the number of carbon atoms which can be placed side by side in a straight line across the length of 20 centimeter long. Okay, so such question we have already done in a moles, right? Yes. So if I see these are carbon atoms, if I am placing it up here, so the diameter of the carbon atom is 0.15. So 0.15 nanometer, 10 to power minus 9 meter into, you can say, it is, say I am putting x number of carbon atoms. So that total will constitute about 20 into 10 to power minus 2 meter, right? So that is going to be the length. Yes. Okay, so my
Yes,
x
sir.
is going to be 20 into 10 to power minus 2 upon 0.15 into 10 to power minus 9, right? Okay, so you can say 20 2000 divided by 15 into 10 to power 7, these many carbon atoms. So this is, you can say, 400 divided by 3. So x is going to be, you can say, this is 133.33 into 10 to power 7 carbon atoms, right? So these many carbon atoms we need. Yes, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's see. Okay, now 2 into 10 to power 8 atoms of carbon are arranged side by side. Okay, so these many carbon atoms are arranged Calculate the radius of carbon atom if the length of this arrangement is 2.4 centimeter. Okay, radius of carbon atom if the length of this arrangement 2.4 centimeter. Okay, so you can say again the same sort of question. So if I know the diameter of the carbon atom, so D is the diameter, and 2 into 10 to the power 8 atoms are arranged side by side. So this will total together will constitute about 2.4 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter, right? That much distance. So the diameter of, you can say, or the radius he is asking, right? So I can say, I can write this diameter as r by 2. So r into 10 to the power 8. Okay, that is, you can say, this is 2r, so it will be 4, sorry, 4 into r, this is 2.4 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter. So I can say this 4 as 0.6. Okay, so radius is going to be 0.6 angstrom, right? So that what it is going to be the radius. So that what he is interested in asking. Okay, so calculate the radius of carbon atom. The radius of carbon atom is 0.6 angstrom. Is that okay? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, now let's try to see the next question. The diameter of zinc atom is 2.6 angstrom. Okay, so what I can say, the diameter of zinc atom is 2.6 angstrom. Okay, calculate the radius of zinc atom in picometer. Okay, okay, radius. So this is the diameter of zinc. So radius is going to be, you can say, 5.2 angstrom. In picometer it is going to be how much? It is, you can say, this is then I have to multiply 52, 5, 2 and 0, right? Picometer. That will be the answer. 520 picometer. Yes, that is the radius. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and B, number of atoms present in a length of 1.6 centimeter. Okay, so number of atoms present in the length of 1.6 meter. Okay, so centimeter it is, sorry. So that is equal to, you can say, 5.2 angstrom. So that is the diameter. I will by 2. Okay, so let me take that in. Let me take diameter only. So diameter is 2.6. So 2.6 into 10 to the power minus 2. That is diameter. Say n number of zinc are placed, and this total length will be 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 2 meter, right? So what are, you can say, the number of zinc atoms? So that is 1.6 upon 2.6. Okay, so that is angstrom, right? So this is 10. Sorry. So this is 10 to the power 8. So this many zinc atoms, right? So the number of zinc atoms are going to be, you can say,
Yes,
6.
sir.
So they are by 4. So you can say 8 by 13 into 10 to the power 8. So this is how much? 6 times almost. 6, 18 and 1. Yeah. So 6, then it is 20. So 6.1 into 10 to the power 8 atoms. Yes, is that okay? Yes, is that okay? Yes, any doubt on that? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's see now question number 38. We'll look at the next question. We'll complete till question number 40, and then we'll see rest of the thing in next class. Okay. A certain particle carries 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 16 coulomb of static electric charge. Calculate the number of electrons present in it. Okay. So we know that the charge on one electron, it is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, right? So that is the charge which is present on one, you can say, electron. A certain particle carries, okay, this much charge. So n into E, this is Q total. So that is 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 16 coulomb, right? So the number of electrons it will have is 2.5 into 10 to the power minus 16 divided by 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19, right? So this will become 10 to the power 3, so it is 25 by 16 into 10 to the power 3, you can say electrons, right? Yes, so what is the value of n? Okay, it is going to be 1 point. Now it is 25, so it is you can say 16, so it is 90. So 90, it is going to be 5, right? So 1.5 approximately into 10 to the power 3 electrons. Yes, is that okay? Around 1500.
Yes, sir.
Okay, 1500 electrons. Okay, now let's try to see question number 2039. In a Milken's experiment, the static electric charge on oil drops has been obtained by shining X-rays. Okay, so if the static electric charge on oil drop is this much coulomb, calculate the number of electrons present on it. Yes, so it is the same as the previous one question. So we can say Ne, that is charge, okay, is equal to minus 1.282 into 10 to the power minus 16 coulomb, right? So the number of electrons, it is minus, okay, the sign will get cancelled off, so I will drop that sign. That is 1.282 into 10 to the power minus 16 divided by 1.602 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, right? So this value will be how much? So let's see. Yes, what has to be this value? 1.282 divided by 1.6082, right? This is 0.8. 0.8 into 10 to the power 3 electrons, right? So approximately it is 800 electrons it has cost. Okay, yeah, is that okay? Yes, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right, so let's do the question number 40, last question, and then we'll wind it up here. Okay, in Rutherford experiment, generally the thin foil of heavy atom like gold, platinum, etc. have been used by bombardment of the alpha particle. If the thin foil of light atoms like aluminum, etc. is used, what difference would be observed from the above result? Okay, so what has to be the answer for this? Okay, if okay, here the heavier elements are used, right? If lighter elements are used, then there would not be proper deflection to be noticed, and hence no appreciable result would have been noted. Okay, so that is the difference, right? Yes, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all